Hi, welcome to the TBC podcast, Empower Today. Really good to be with you again. We're thinking about how we can continue to grow in our relationship with God. A couple of things for you. Firstly, we encouraged everyone at TBC to set their alarm for 12 noon, midday, every day of the week, and then just to pause and pray. If you're able to do that, I really encourage you to join us. It'd be great to have hundreds of people all praying together at that time. The second thing for me, I've seen loads of websites and articles about what you can do as a family in this time where you're not allowed to go out. Exercises, good things to watch on TV, zoos that are live and you can watch them, museums that you can go through virtually, all of that. That is brilliant. But what are we doing together spiritually as a family? I encourage you to have a meeting as a family and sit down and say, with your teenagers, with your toddlers, with those in between, how are we over these next weeks going to worship God together and individually? It's one of the things we very rarely talk about as Christians, is how are we going to grow? And then it just becomes this awkward white elephant in the room. Why not take a moment to do that as a family? Maybe mum or dad heads that up and you sit down and you chat together. Another idea here is create a special space at home to pray and meditate. By meditate, I mean prayer in all its shapes and forms. And there's a web link there with some creative ideas. Joe and I have chatted about it, and we're going to use a corner of one of our rooms as a special place. And you only go there if you're going there to pray and be with God. We're not going to be legalistic about it and beat the children if they do go in there by mistake. Not that we would ever beat the children, because we would never do anything like that. Whew, got away with that one. But why not create a space? It might be a chair in your room and you only sit in that chair if you're going to pray. It might be a picture on the wall and you only sit in front of that picture if you're going to spend time with God in a deliberate and instructive and good way. So please use that idea. This is one that I need to do. I'm not doing it at the moment and I really think I should. Why not practice a news fast? I'm finding I'm checking various media websites and other things far more than I used to. And sometimes that's helpful and sometimes it's unhealthy. How about joining me in thinking I will just check the news once a day? Not every day, but just on one day. Give our brains and our hearts just a breather. This is something that Steve Cole would love because it's across the time zones. Why not get completely out of this world by looking at NASA's astronomy pictures? They put one on there each day. It tells you where that picture came from. Space, I guess, is the answer that most of us would come up with. But it also tells you when it was first seen and who first saw it. Maybe that's something that you'd really connect with, because God is bigger than you and me. He's bigger than this world. He is bigger than all of creation. And the final one for me is practice centering prayer. And there's a website here so you can get more details on that. Centering prayer is simply this. You pick a very short sentence that's easy to remember and you make it your prayer. It may come from a Bible verse that you enjoy. So my favourite Bible verse is Matthew 11 verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. And the centering prayer that I've been using the last year or so off the back of that is, Jesus, I come to you because you give me rest. Jesus, I come to you because you give me rest. I've got it laminated on a small piece of paper the size of a credit card in my pocket. Every time I get out a bank card to pay for something, I see that and it reminds me. Every morning when I walk the kids to school, which I won't be doing for a while, I would walk home on my own saying that prayer over. I didn't say it out loud because you look kind of weird, but just in your mind, Jesus, I come to you because you give me rest. And you can think on different parts of that prayer each time. Take time to write your one that fits with your language, with the way you relate to God, and write it and use it. I hope that you will find it helpful. Till next time, see you around.